is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, July. We are back on the Shadow. I do want to first and foremost give a shout out to my buddy Shep, Riding with Shep. If you've been to the Forgotten Angels camp the last few times he's been there, he pretty much lives on that Goldwing of his. And when he saw that I was in an accident, he reached out immediately and offered me basically anything from his stockpile of parts. And from what I gather, he sent me pretty much every part that I think I need for the Goldwing until I get into it. So yeah, I did pay him a little piece for it, but man, what a great dude to reach out and offer that. So I will be working on the Goldwing soon. With working on the Shadow and working on the Goldwing simultaneously, I have competing priorities. So I opted to wait on the Goldwing. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch with the Shadow because the wife goes for her endorsement class this week. So I want to make sure it's already up and running for when she gets that done. I have a motorcycle to ride in the Triumph, so it's not like I'm hurting for something. So I want to make sure she's good to go. By the way, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down below. It's really helping me out. You guys have really come through lately, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So what do we have going on for the Shadow today? Once again, as a Florida summer would dictate, not sure what's going on with that weather, so we're going to keep it kind of inside. I did get the correct turn signals that I wanted, the one with the 4 wires. These are 3. I'm going to take these off, put the new ones on. We're also going to wire, I've got 2 little white lights, but I'm going to wire one down to here. I had a concern on how I was going to mount it. There is a hole back here that I think I'm going to use. I bought a couple pieces of metal strapping. I'm going to try to angle that the right way, get the holes right, and then paint it black, match the rest of the motorcycle. Lastly, we figured out the starter problem. The one that makes the starter button intermittent. Somebody took the stock solenoid off and put this piece of shit on here. There's no protection from the elements when you're riding. So in the rain, which is often here, you get a lot of corrosion buildup on here. So we got a new solenoid that's supposed to arrive today. Jack and I are going to build a new wire from here, or from both the starter to the solenoid and the battery to the solenoid. So that should wrap all that up and make it a little more consistent with the starter button. So without any further ado, let's get going. All right, boys, so it's been a couple hours. We did have a slight rain delay. I had to go back in and work for 15 minutes. I ate, but so far we have the taillights, we believe, wired up. So you guys are going to be the first ones to witness it. I did test the right one, but I didn't test the left one. So, all right, turn the bike on. Left blinker. That's a left blinker? They're both blinking. Right blinker?
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Well, that's an unexpected turn of events right there. God damn.
It's very Mike Branch.
What?
Very Mike Branch.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a Mike Branch project if everything went according to plan, right? So, all right, turn the bike off. Son of a fuck, man. This is fantastic. Okay, did some internet research and figured out the issue. I did wire things correctly for the most part. However, this is now considered a vintage motorcycle at 22 years old, and the LEDs will not work without a diode wired into the circuitry. I've never heard of that. Just did a little bit of research, but it sounds like there's voltage going to both sides of the turn signals when you turn the switch, but on the incandescents, the voltage going to the side that's not on isn't enough to light it up, but on the LEDs with less resistance, it's enough to light them both up. So I've got to figure out how to wire this thing with diodes, figure out which diodes to get, and then yeah, if it ain't one thing, it's a mother another.
It's nice to take a little break from working on the Shadow. I feel like a lot of our evenings have been taken up with working on the Shadow, and I'm actually fine with that because I want to dedicate as much time as I can to that motorcycle to make sure it's ready, operational, and safe My wife's first night of her MSF course is tonight. She has tonight for 4 hours, Saturday and Sunday all day, like 8-9 hours all day. And then after that, assuming she passes, she'll be good to get her endorsement. So yeah, getting the Shadow ready for her so that it's road ready, safe, and all that. That's a pretty high priority for me. I will say that I may have mentioned it off the bike earlier in this video, but my boy Shep came through with all the parts. I got all the parts sitting in my living room that I think I need. There might be some one-offs here and there with like hardware, gaskets, little shits that you don't see right away. Hard for me to take a real inventory unless I got out there with like a parts catalog or something and went through every little detail bolt by bolt. So I'm sure I'm going to find things that I'm going to have to order and wait on. Am I in a hurry to get the Goldwing back on the road? Yes and no. I think, like I mentioned in a video recently, a lot of times when I'm evaluating what motorcycle to take, the Goldwing wins out. Not because I like it more necessarily. I mean, I do. I like it quite a bit. I like it way more than I ever would have admitted years ago, or even imagined for myself years ago about Goldwings. All the storage in the world that you want, man. I don't know what else I could possibly fit in there that I would want to fit in there. Unless I'm moving somebody's furniture, Goldwing's probably going to work. It's got 2 seats. Triumph does not have 2 seats. There are aftermarket parts I can get, but nah. I don't want to aftermarket this bobber and turn it into a 2-seater. I really don't. So the Goldwing usually wins there. Touring, love my Triumph. I know it will tour. It's not the most comfortable motorcycle. It's leaps and bounds ahead of the Royal Enfield in terms of comfort, but it's still not something that I want to spend all day on. Certainly not something that I'd want to do 3,000 miles on in a 4-day span like on the Goldwing. Whereas the Goldwing I got back, sure, I was tired from being up a lot, but it wasn't like being beaten down by the road. You know what I mean? Shade Tree Surgeon is having some people meet up at the Dirty Shame. I mean, it's an open invite. It was on his video and Shaylee's video, but he put it out there locally first and said, hey, love to have you guys come down. Meet us at the Dirty Shame. We're going to ride over to Perch/OCC for their bike night. I guess his shirt is launching, an exclusive shirt at Perch. So I figured, you know what? Yeah, let's go support him. I'm not fully healed yet. I don't have the bandages on my appendages. Well, that's a tongue twister. That's a mouthful, man. Bandages on my appendages. If you can see, my arm is quite pink. It doesn't hurt, but it's quite pink from the wounds, and my leg is still very much in the healing process. I did not put gauze on my leg today. I didn't wear it yesterday either. I'm giving it a chance to kind of scab up. Some of you medical professionals out there might tell me I'm doing the wrong thing. I don't know, man. My body said stop putting that gauze on, so I did. I did mean to put the gauze on today, tonight, or this afternoon, whatever. Because I don't want the raw denim of my jeans rubbing up against the open wounds, because they're still kind of open. But I don't know how to do it by myself. And my wife went to her MSF course before I was done with work, so... And for those of you hanging on my every word, waiting for Mike's weather report, here it is! Hot and shitty all day. And as soon as I pulled the motorcycle out of the garage this afternoon, 20 minutes ago, it started raining. Didn't last very long, so on the side of caution, I decided to open up the old weather map, and it didn't look like it was going to last very long. So it didn't. So there's some raindrops on my visor, and there's a nice cloud over there that looks like it's dumping somewhere. So we're going to hope and pray with our fingers crossed that that's it for the evening. Never know, though. It's been raining every single night here lately. So we're going to get on down the road. I'll see you at the Dirty Shame, and then we'll catch back up on the motorcycle going across the bridge. I do want to talk about that a little bit and how my mentality has kind of shifted from last week to this week. We'll see you down there.
Well, here it is. What could possibly have gone wrong? Nothing. Everything is exactly as planned. The only thing that oh, this is great, man. This is absolutely... I think as the closer you get to Florida, the more likely you are to have this going on. I honestly think that's what happened. So I think the bike was fine up in Oregon, well taken care of, and then it gets closer and closer to Florida, and it's like, oh man, my meth is acting up. You know what I'm saying? Good for him for riding that motherfucker all the way across. Let's go get a beer because I'm parched.
All right, this might be a mistake. Not for me, but for my finances. That control the volume too? Apparently not. Okay, here we go. So either I'll be back soon or never again. Oh man, this is already weird. Okay, here we go. Oh sh. Alright. Alright, here we go. Get your cocks out of the way, Ybor City. Wait. Woo! Oh man. Oh, this is so weird. This is so weird. It's like, just like Josh described it, it's like, I don't know what to do with my foot. Or my left hand, for that matter. Oh, it just does it for you. Look at that. It's so weird. It's so weird. Like, I'm looking for the appropriate time to downshift, and there's not one because it's just going to handle it for me. Holy cow. In the words of the late, great, what's the Cubs guy's name? You get Chicago guys will know. Carey, something Carey. Danny Carey? No, not Danny Carey. What the fuck was his name, man, with the big old giant glasses? Holy cow. Alright, I do kind of want to get it to highway speeds, so we're going to come up here and take a left. See what happens. No, a right here at 21st. Shit. This no gear shift, no clutch has my brain totally fucked up. Because all I can think about is not pulling in the clutch and not shifting a gear. That's so wild to me. A steering damper? What is that? What's going on up there? Holy shit, man. This thing is crazy. I do want to know where reverse is, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's go sport, baby. What's that little guy there? I wonder what that means. Does that mean this is the proper... Whoa, oh, it is aggressive. Does that mean this is how you... Oh, look how that thing works, man. As the suspension comes up, it moves those little dampers up and down. So it's like there's almost no feeling from the front suspension at all. Oh, that is so cool. Anyway, back to the little dude. What the fuck is the Spaceman? Like, you can only ride a Goldwing in this position. All right, sport mode. Let me get past this traffic. I am still a little bit nervous from the accident. Hey, he ain't lying. When he said it's an aggressive sport mode, that's exactly what it is, man. I won't, even though I'm half-ass tempted to like really turn it up, I won't, because of a couple things. Traffic, that's the big one. And then two, a little bit nervous still, even though I'm right back in the saddle again. I'm a little gun shy, so forgive me if I'm not too wild and crazy. Dude, this thing is fucking bananas, man. Holy shit. Okay. Let's do a U-turn here. Damn, it did not want to go into fifth. When's it going to change gears? Holy shit, man. Alright, let's get back up there. I don't want to be out with this brand new machine for too... Oh, baby. Woohoo! You ain't got nothing on the Goldwing, baby. But that fella in there was probably thinking, holy shit, that's Mike Branch on a 2022 DCT Honda Goldwing. Actually, I bet he wasn't even thinking about me at all. That's the most likely scenario. But I like to pretend that everybody's looking at me thinking what a badass I am on this fine machine. Man, there's so many buttons. Like, I feel like until you got used to riding this motorcycle... Hey. Let me roll my window down. Hey, baby, that thing got air conditioning? Damn right it does. It's got 155 air conditioning. There it goes. Woo! I'm frigid now. They got everything on the Goldwing. But there's so many buttons and so many things on the display that I feel like you get lost the first couple times, first couple weeks maybe, that you ride it. I don't know. Like, I'd have to always look for what the buttons are, and I think that would be a real distraction. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love this motorcycle. I don't have the money for it. The Spaceman still trips me out, man. I do want to know, is that my little companion? Should we name him something? What do we call this guy? What do we call the Spaceman? Carl? Frederick. Freddy Space. No, it isn't. Freddie Mercury. Like the planet, get it? Freddie Mercury, the spaceman. Freddie Mercury, the Goldwing spaceman. We got it nailed down now. And we've gone public with it too, so no taking it back. There's no friction zone. I think that's one of the things that really weirds me out. So like turning a corner there, for instance, for anybody who's been riding a motorcycle at all, if you have to turn a corner slowly, you know as well as I do, a lot of times you're going to use that friction zone, especially in first gear, so you're not jerking all over the place. That I think is my biggest complaint right now. There's not really a friction zone. I think the automatic system inside of here does a pretty good job of emulating the friction zone a little bit, so it doesn't feel too jerky. But there are some times when you give it just a little bit of throttle, but you can't counterbalance that with your own clutch action. So that's a little bit tricky for me.
This is a much bigger turnout than I imagined. Look at all these motorcycles up here. There's COVID Kathy over there. Well, I guess her name is Colleen, so I don't have to say Kathy. Her other road name is Patricia. Patricia? When she gets mad, Patricia comes out. So COVID Patricia? That doesn't sound right. It's Petri Dish Patricia. That's a tongue twister. Oh, I haven't had enough beers yet to slow that one. This should be interesting. It's going to be a bigger ride than I anticipated. I've told you guys plenty of times before, I'm not like a huge fan of riding in big packs, and so I want to try to hang as far back as I can, but I have a feeling that everybody's going to be trying to do that, so it might end up being nobody goes anywhere for hours because we're all waiting to be last. That should be interesting.
Here we go. We got a pretty big pack with us. Heading out to Burt's or OCC. Josh has got that t-shirt release going on tonight. It's exclusive only at Burt's Beer Crew, Harley Davidson. I'm going to pick one up for me. My boy Whiskey Chaser also asked for one, so I'm going to get one for him. He's coming down next month. Looking forward to that. I just want to point out that Alex, the diplomat, is wearing a shirt that says Boston in 100% Yankees colors. Some words about accident update, I guess. This week compared to last week has been a little bit different. I made a video, the last video I had on Thursday, so 5 days after the accident, I was right back on the motorcycle. No problem. We even rode in the rain that night, which is enough to make anybody nervous, but we did it because we didn't really have a choice. Tonight, for some reason, I'm a little bit gun shy. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like, and a lot of you may have gotten over it just like I have. Remember when you were younger and somebody would slam on their brakes in front of you, your mom or dad would slam on the brakes, and that you get that feeling in your stomach, your heart would sink, whatever. I haven't gotten that feeling in many years. I'm just used to people slamming on the brakes because fucking idiots. Tonight, on the way here, somebody slammed on the brakes and my heart just fucking dropped. I was scared to death. I shouldn't have been, you know? It's a natural reaction. So I'm a little gun shy, especially in a big group on the highway. So, I mean, it's not going to stop me from riding, and it's not going to stop me from riding in this group. I'm just saying it's a little bit different this time. Another piece of interesting information is that I did end up getting an attorney for my ticket because I talked to insurance, the cop that night at the accident, and then talking to the attorney over the phone. Especially since all of our stories lined up. The guy that started this whole fucking mess that caused the accident, 2 cars in front of us, is technically, well, not technically I'm at fault because they got it back, but they're at fault. Everybody agrees with it. But the fucked up thing about our system, the system, is that somebody has to be cited. Somebody has to be cited. And in the case of that accident, it was me. So I hired an attorney, gonna fight it, because everybody just knows it wasn't my fault. The guy in front who kept weaving in and out of traffic, he caused it. She caused it. Whoever it was up there, they caused it. I didn't. Could I have reacted sooner? Maybe. But I didn't create the scenario that caused the accident. Anyway, going over to Burt's for bike night, or OCC for bike night. I haven't been over there in a few weeks. Bike night is usually something I go to from my house. You know, I'll meet up with Jack, Colleen, or whomever, and I'll be like, hey, you know, let's do this thing, and we'll just meet over there. Riding down to the Dirty Shame, and then over to St. Pete is something that this is totally brand new for me. So it ought to be fun. It ought to be a whole lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of people here I like. A lot of people I don't know, who I'm sure I will once I get to talk to them some more. So yeah, let's get on down the bridge. I don't want to take up too much of this time yapping away, yada yada yada. This ought to be a fun ride with a lot of cool people. We'll see you down the road.
Well, clearly, since we're here now, I didn't record any after we got to Burt's last night. It was pretty packed, and then we had a pretty big group up there. Did get a couple shirts, one for me, one for Whiskey Chaser, who's coming down here in a few weeks. So what we're doing today, I got my diodes in. Little pack of diodes. We're gonna make that Y connector. I'm not gonna bore you with every single detail. That would take way too long anyway, so we'll kind of zip through it. I'll stop here and there to tell you what I'm doing. Let's get to it. All right, so we're using some of the wire that came on the stock wire from the Honda, so that way I can keep the color straight. That should be good. We're going to use 2 pieces of orange and 1 piece of blue. Jesus fuck, man. I got my diodes. These 2 ends with the little silver band. I don't know if you can see that or not on the camera. There's little silver bands here. These are the ones that are going to go into the wiring harness. The other 2 ends are going to stay the same. Well, they're all going to get wired into the wiring harness, but this is the direction they have to go. It's kind of hard for me to explain it because I've never worked with diodes before like this. So I've had to learn in the past, I don't know, 3 days, exactly 2 days, exactly what this is that I'm doing. So I can't fully explain it. I know what it does. It keeps the voltage going one direction and stops it from coming back the other way, which is why it's important which direction that you have these facing. Basically this end here, or these 2 ends here are gonna act as help act as a ground to keep the 2 blinking sides from bleeding over into each other. All right, we got the solders done for the diodes. We'll get these heat shrinks on. Oh, how about that? The placeholder does not like the heat gun. Or the placemat. Okay, here is the basic construction. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little drop of solder to each one of these just to make sure the connection's more secure. And diodes are in, so yeah, we'll see you back out on the bike. A lot of you smarty pants out there already know how this works, so I'm going to explain it. The ones who don't, I'm going to explain it to you the way I understand it. So I had to take the orange and the light blue wires out of the wiring harness that go into the plug here. These go up to the indicator light. Snip them. The orange is still running to the orange. The blue, however, is... I don't know what the fuck's going on. Let's see if this motherfucker works or not. I don't know. The diodes are doing some kind of bullshit where voltage is going one way but not the other. Oh god. Left blinker. You son of a bitch. Right blinker. You son of a bitch. You fucking did it. Ha ha ha. Look.
Nice.
Put your left one on. I can't tell you how that shit fucking works, but it works and I'm okay with it. So I'm so happy with that. Oh man, like I said, couldn't tell you how it worked, but I know somehow you isolate the ground to whatever and do this and a little bit of that and some of this right here and then a little bit more over here like that, and then everything just fucking works. So write that down, take a little note to remind you in case you didn't know. Anyway, what we're gonna do now, and what I mean by now is sometime relatively soon, like tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and wire up the blinkers. I'm gonna take off the bullets that I had on there last week that only had 3 wires. That's all I need up front. I need ground, I need running light, and I need blinker. So since those bullets have 3 wires, I'm just gonna repurpose those into the front turn signals or the front running lights. I'm gonna go ahead and wire all that up so that way it's ready for when the bar gets here on Tuesday, and then at least that piece, that part is done. Love it. All right, that's gonna do it for this one here. I'm excited. We're getting this close to being done with the Shadow. Well, not done with it, but to where it's street legal and a lot more safe for her to be on. Still got to get those new bullet lights in. I had to order new ones, by the way. I think I skipped that part because the ones that I was gonna wire up front came with lenses, smoke, red, and yellow, but the diodes are red, so everything's red. It's just different shades of red. So I ordered new ones, returning those, and then I still got to clean and adjust the chain on there. After that, she's pretty much good to go. Wife's at her class. This is the last day of her MSF class. She did great yesterday. I guess they're not messing around. You know, one person got kicked out very early in the morning yesterday, and another one came damn close to it. So she's doing well. We're going to start the next video this afternoon when she gets home. So I look forward to making that one, and hopefully we'll have some shots of her riding in that one. But I do appreciate you coming along on this video, and always. And until next time, we'll see you later.